Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree in the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft right, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
Crumb TV.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree in the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers, fabric softener. Jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft right, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth. Oh yeah, they're scorched tight. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls. Niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descendant of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Bless.
From TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. All right. And that song that you just heard, that is Theta Waves. Yes, indeed. Theta Waves featuring the twin pillars, Red and Blue Pill. All right. Get familiar. Get familiar with that. You know what I'm talking about? First and foremost, shout out to the family in the building and whatnot. Salute to everybody pulling up. Real quick. Earlier today, we had a show with the good brother Heru Ofari Atta. Powerful episode. Damn near 3 hours and 30 minutes. We was going in. We do a regular show now where I brought the brother on to the platform as a special guest every Monday and Wednesday. And I went into my emails, and YouTube wound up hitting me with a strike talking about medical misinformation. So my other page, Know the Ledger 444, it got a strike on it. I can't even go live. I'm actually in court right now. You know what I mean? With Perry Mason appealing that charge and whatnot. I'm in appeals court. I got my lawyers on it, but yeah, they on my tail and shit. So we're gonna do a reapproach to this medical Monday type of thing. You dig what I'm saying? I think y'all understand what's going on and whatnot when it comes to medical talk. When it comes to saving our people, we could talk about killing people on YouTube. Keep in mind, unaliving, whatever y'all want to call it. I mean, days when I'm on my dark shit, I'll go down the YouTube rabbit hole and see videos on everybody that killed somebody. They got them going. Like on Liar Cohen's YouTube, you could watch an endless array of videos of black men killing black men. You know what I'm talking about? But when it comes time to somebody talking about healing the black family and healing the black woman and the black man and all of that, the melanated, whatever you want to call it, there's a problem with that. They have a big problem. I promise you on everything. We was not talking about any type of weird activities. You know, like we wasn't promoting bleach, drinking bleach. You know what I mean? Like the talk wasn't about, it wasn't even going there like that. It was really some basic health talk. And this is the second time that they did it. The first time 2 weeks ago, hit me with a warning, took the video down. Today, they hit me with a strike, took the video. I'm like, this is how y'all want to play this shit? All right, no problem. So yeah, Patreon, my geniuses. Patreon. We going straight to Patreon. I'm not losing no sleep over these people trying to take away this channel. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm not going to allow the motherfucking information to stop coming. I'm not going to censor myself. I'm never going to censor what the brother Heru is doing, because to be honest with you, if you know, based off of the fact that the kinetic knowledge that he's bringing, the fact that he's helping people, the fact that he's curing people, the fact that his website has endless testimonials, no,
I'm not. You see how these YouTube people work. They would want, like, if I was a weak ass nigga, if I was one of these birds, if I was one of these worrying about YouTube and all of that, I would act, they would want me to kind of act, you know what I mean? Like weird, certain people would tell, hey, Rude, brother, we can't do this no more. I gotta stay, you know what I mean? They would be thinking about themselves first. You feel me? But that's not how this shit goes. You know what I mean? This is what we know that we're at war. We know that there's a censorship campaign. We know that these people do not. We could take it all the way back to the 80s. This is the shit that I grew up under with my mama. You dig what I'm saying? With these people always in their feelings when you come forward and you talking about helping your people, not in a what they call a speculatory way, right? Not we the people, we gotta help. No, actually helping them, like real shit, like going up, like hurting big pharma because you are helping people, you're saving lives, opposite of what they're doing with them, with medical malpractice being the third leading cause of death amongst every fucking person on the planet. I mean, in America. The third leading cause of death is the doctors and the white coats and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, they slowing down the body count. They don't like that. All that other shit, you could go march, get your calves up. You could rebel rouse. You could kick over cans. You could scream to the vein in the side of your neck pop out. Right? If you are actually doing something, you could get money all day. They don't care. You paying taxes or you going to jail. But if you are saving people, if you literally are stopping people from dying, that's when they draw the line. Now you messing with their money. So with that being said, let me throw the QR code up. I'll know how serious y'all are by the analytics, because nigga, we at war. So I'll see how many people have signed up to the Patreon by the end of the show. And I promise you, and I'm not saying this as a warning, but I put too much real shit on the line. If the audience does not match that energy, I am fucking gone, bro. I don't need to be on YouTube. Y'all don't think y'all understand this shit. This going live is stopping me from doing what I really be doing. Going live is stopping me from doing the shit that I'm really doing, building out some fucking $1 trillion shit. So if the family don't match the energy, my nigga, sayonara. Y'all could go and watch motherfucking Unk 607 and all of that other shit on YouTube, because I'm gone. I'm out of here. I've been here too long to be playing any games and whatnot. But the minute these people start playing games, I need my people to motherfucking activate. We play it cool and whatnot. We lay back and shit like that. And we kicking it, keying and everything. But the minute they start acting crazy, I'm going to act crazier. They just going to make me turn this shit up. I'm not going to turn down. I'm like, oh, y'all. Oh, now that I see what y'all really is, I'm really noticing what's bothering y'all. Now that I see that y'all are flinching now that I see what information is really getting y'all in y'all feelings, I'm going to just go harder with that. You feel me? I'm going to go harder with that, because I know that's the shit that's affected. And I really know that's what the people need. The people was locked in today. We was going in. We was only supposed to do an hour. We was only supposed to do an hour. We was on that bitch for 3.5 because the information was so real. And the people was getting fed, bro. I'm looking in the comment section. The people is getting fed. So we will find a way. I don't give a fuck if I got to talk to 10 people. We're going to find a way. We're going to lock in with the people that's locked in. And everybody else, it's all good. I ain't, believe you me, sayonara. I'll see you in 10 years, my nigga. It's all good. When I pop up, niggas will be like, yo, Red, I ain't see you in a while. Yeah, all right. Whatever. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's go ahead and do the roll call, and let's get to this program. And yeah, let's get this information out there. It's a lot going on. We're gonna talk about some things and whatnot. We're gonna cover some things, and then we're gonna do some announcements, make some announcements, put some information out there, and then we out of here. Cause I promise you, Brooklyn and this bitch. Shout out to Brooklyn. KTL University is up. If you go to KTL University, is up. They did some dumb shit about 3 months ago, but yeah, you know, I don't even think people understand what be going on. But we don't get on the internet and we don't cry. We don't get on the internet and we don't light fires. Help me. We don't wave white flags and we don't do help me's and shit. But believe you me, they be scheming. They scheme and we scheme harder. Portland in the building, East Flatbush in the building, Bangkok in the building, Nashville in the building. We got Dallas in the building, Shreveport in the building, Ann Arbor in the building, Naptown in the building, Gainesville in the building. We have NC, North Carolina, Oakland up in this thing. You dig? Okay, you was I was taking my extract too. You know what I'm saying? That extract will put you in the bathroom. Man, oh man. Phoenix in the building, DMV in the building. All right, we got Huntington Beach, California in the building, Greenville in the building, Norfolk in the building. Somebody said something about B-Dell channel. What happened with B-Dell channel? What happened with B-Dell? I was just watching that the other night. Brooklyn in the building, Seattle in the building, Kentucky. Shout out to Ireland in the building. Shout out to the Ireland family, man. Wagwan. 305 in the building, Pittsburgh in the building. We have Nevada in the building, Oklahoma, Atlantis in the building. Shout out to everybody that's coming out tomorrow for Techno Tuesdays IRL in the ATL, Spin City headquarters. Look forward to seeing ya. Charleston, South Carolina, Texas to Kimmit. We got Pittsburgh in the building, Chicago in the building, San Jose in the building, Coachella Valley. We have Greensville in the building. Oh, they demonetized them? Oh, I don't know how none of them channels stay monetized, to be honest with you. Like OKC, Gibson in the building, you know, he got demonetized. Columbia in the building. Yeah, demonetized is one thing. When they strike you and they tell you you can't go live for a week and your ass is going to lose your channel if you get 3 strikes in 90 days, yeah, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of crazy. But yeah, man, that's how they dangle carrots. Oh, we're going to demonetize you. And like I said before, to be honest with you, with anybody that's out here talking that dog shit, y'all niggas should not even be monetized depending on fucking YouTube to pay you. That's where the people have failed us. That's where I stand up and be like, nah, fuck that. It's on the people. It ain't on YouTube. The fuck? YouTube's not supposed to cut no checks to niggas talking real shit. You're not supposed to be worrying about, oh, I can't say this because I might get demonetized. What is this? What are we here for? What the fuck is this? We out here clapping for checks, for peanuts. They're throwing peanuts. That shit is peanuts. It's not real money, bro. So, nah, I'm good. I'm good. How much is the Patreon? It's different tiers. You feel me? It's definitely different tiers. You know, it goes from 5 all the way up to 99. And it comes with perks. You feel me? We take care of our people over there on the Patreon. Been running that since 2017, I believe. Classic shit is up there. All of the lectures, workshops, lectures, seminars, you know. Philly in the building. What up, Philly? Yeah, no, I never cashed a YouTube check. Never really wanted to. Real talk. I honor Patreon because the Patreon check is the people. It's the people. That's how you could tell when you are supported and you got love. All of that love shit without support ain't love. That's that weird fanaticism where a nigga be like, I love you, but that could be your biggest hater or your enemy. You just give it one little situation, them niggas turn into your enemies and foes. I don't really, you know what I mean? I've been outside too long to fall for shit like that. I don't do flattery. I don't do pats on the head and all. I don't want to hear none of that. You know what I mean? That's for young niggas. That's for the little. That's for the YNs. We don't do all of that. We don't do all of that. I don't, you know what I mean? No disrespect, but I don't want nobody patting me on the head. I don't need no pats on the back. I don't need no yo Rad, you lit. I'm good on all of that. I don't need none of that. Nobody gassing me up and all of that. I'm good. No Texaco, my nigga. Please charge me up. You know what I mean? Like a Tesla. Don't gas me up. Charge me up. Charge it to the game. Socketry. You feel me? That's the language that we speak when we putting in this type of work. There's nothing else that could pay us back for this type of work but socketry. That's the only thing that makes sense at the end of the day, because we grown ass men doing things, and we got families, and we got businesses, and we have projects, and we have a bunch of things that we got to do. So we're doing what we doing so you could do, so we could all do what we could do. That's how it works. That's how it works. You know what I'm talking about? And if it was the opposite, I would say no problem. Remove every motherfucking video off of YouTube for the past 20, 30 years since YouTube started. I think their birthday was the other day. Take all of the consciousness off of YouTube. Just let it be Fight Club, let it be Tekashi 6ix9ine, Vlad, Adam 22, Crip Mac, and all of them niggas. Take all the information up out of there. Take them up all out of there. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And let the people, let them rock with that. If they don't respect what the fuck is being done, and they be like, why should we support any? Okay, no problem. Let's get to this information. And let's see what's going on in this crazy ass news cycle that we are all bearing witness to. I'm gonna set it right off to follow up with what I've been telling, or what I've been sharing, or what I've been predicting, or what I've been, I've been seeing this, I've been peeping this. Peter Thiel, Antichrist, JD Vance, right? So this article dropped, and it just was an addendum. It's just an addendum to what we were talking about yesterday. Check it out.
Pretty big news right now. In newly leaked audio recordings, one of J.D. Vance's top donors, Peter Thiel, urged J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, to reject the Pope's teachings, suggesting that the Pope is a tool of the Antichrist. This was first reported by letters from Leo and Christopher Hale, who obtained the leaked audio recording. In these leaked recordings, Peter Thiel, who's a major Vance supporter, has been propping Vance up for a 2028 run, says that he told
I don't like this dude. I play him on the channel because I know I got Democrats in the audience, and we got to keep that shit somewhat balanced. But this nigga is he's a Democratic tool right here. This is what you call a plant. He is a plant. Let's be clear. Homie is a plant. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody that says Peter Thiel is his major supporter, bro. Nigga, what? This nigga suspect. He was the same nigga that went live having he talking about he wasn't at the correspondence dinner. You got the same bow tie on that Donald Trump had on. Why y'all got the same dress code on if you wasn't at the party? Just say you was at the party. Just say you was at the party, fam. You don't got a lot of us. You know what I'm talking about? So he is like the Democratic shield. You know what I mean? He's the one he's like Rachel Maddow. You know what I mean? He's one of those. You know what I'm talking about? But the fact that he's like, yeah, Peter Thiel is his biggest supporter. No, it's nigga, he is his motherfucking handler. Stop being politically correct, my nigga. He is his handler. It's not his biggest supporter. He's his handler. He's the man with his hands up his back. The fuck you talking about? His biggest supporter. Nigga, what?
Fans to reject the Pope's teachings and to simply pray for him. Went on to suggest that the Pope is a tool of the Antichrist. One of J.D. Vance's...
So let's keep in mind when you hear Peter Thiel and you hear the Antichrist, right? When you hear Peter Thiel and the Antichrist in the same sentence, understand that Peter Thiel was going around California, Berkeley, UCLA, and other places having lectures about the Antichrist. But the reason why that begins to raise an alarm when it comes to Peter Thiel, whose name is an anagram for the reptile, is because Peter Thiel, outside of all of the crazy shit that he's doing with clavicular and transhumanism, because you know he's a flaming nacho, right? Peter Thiel is a flaming nacho, and he's behind transhumanism, right? He's the initial funder of Facebook. He is the owner of Facebook. If you really want to know, he's damn near the owner. He's like the shadow owner of Facebook. You know what I'm talking about? He put 500K on Facebook the year that bitch popped out when Zuckerberg was about to hang it up. This motherfucker came along with 500 bands. So if you come in, you put 500 bands into Facebook before it even went public, my nigga, you damn near own that company. But anyway, Peter Thiel is intricately linked into all things Antichrist conversations. Keep in mind, we are in the midst of a biblical war. We are in the midst of a holy war. We are in the midst of what is called eschatology. We are in that theater right now. It is literally playing out with Iran going to war against America and the great Satan and all of them, right? So Peter Thiel is intricately tied into AI, but not the AI where you're making cat pictures. AI like Palantir, AI like the Stargate, AI where they're saying that they're summoning entities and shit like that. That's what he's into. Deep, dark shit like that. He's part of Dark MAGA. He's part of the Dark Enlightenment. He's part of a bunch of things that are very nefarious, right? Peter Thiel, that is. And Peter Thiel is going to be the face of the Antichrist. Okay. If you were to ask me, the Antichrist would be the AGI. If the AI were to go quote unquote sentient and it was to basically wake up and break out, it would be the Antichrist. I don't think that a human being is necessarily the Antichrist, although the president Donald Trump, with the blasphemous that he's committed in the eyes of quote unquote the Christians and whatnot, by declaring himself, by tweeting himself as the Pope and then tweeting himself as Jesus, I believe around Easter and whatnot, he's somewhat positioning himself to be somewhat of the Antichrist. But keep in mind, we're dealing with propaganda. We're dealing with a war of quote unquote, you know, they're not, everything is dealing with psyops, and they're dealing with a bunch of red herrings. It's not what you think it is. So even though he'll pop out and he's assuming the role, it's all theatrics and whatnot, he's not the Antichrist. That Antichrist figure is more of a group. It's not one person. It's more of a group type of thing. Peter Thiel is on a lecture circuit saying that anybody that goes against AI is the Antichrist. Henceforth, why he went after the Pope and he was like, yeah, the Pope and all of them is Antichrist, because he said that anybody that tries to stop the evolution or the growth and development of AI is the Antichrist. That ties directly into what I've been speaking about, and I'm going to do more of when I do my lecture. I'm not gonna, when I do the lecture, Fear of a Black and More Messiah, we'll go deep diving into Curtis Yarvin. We'll go deep diving into the Dark Enlightenment. We'll go deep diving into Nick Land and what they call retrocausality. Retrocausality is the theory that the AI is the one sending things back into the past to kill motherfuckers so it could evolve into the future and whatnot. That's what retrocausality is. Retrocausality is also a theory that capitalism is an organism, right? That capitalism is an organism. It's an actual organism, like a blob. Also, what they call the Shoggoth. They said that the AI is actually an entity as well. It sounds a little crazy, but we'll get into it. And it don't sound that crazy when you come to find out that the vice president, the president, and a bunch of the people in power right now, that's the theories, and those are the philosophers that they rock with. I wish we all were more enlightened about this so we could have a further conversation on it. You feel me? But that's very everybody on the far right is aware of it. That's not even a secret on the far right. It's something that they're very aware of. They understand what's going on with Peter Thiel. They understand what's going on with these technocrats. They understand what's going on with the quote unquote with the rise of technology. Not the technology. We talking more so like the data centers. We talking about the Stargates. We're talking more about them playing around with the quantum, right? We're talking about things of that nature. When you're talking about AI kill chains, the killing machines, the more that the war goes on, the more advanced the AI gets. You see how that works? The way that AI works, it works through training. So the more that they bomb Iran, the more that they go on missions in Gaza, the more that they go at war with Lebanon, that's the more advanced that it gets. It gets more advanced. Attack by attack by attack is called precision. It's precision killing, right? It's called precision killing. So if you look into the war right now, it is an AI war taking place right now. There, you don't see no people on the ground. Oh, they're shipping. That's why they're not feeding the people on the ships. They're not even feeding the humans and whatnot. They're not feeding the soldiers. They're shipping the soldiers around, but the soldiers ain't even doing nothing. It's the AI that's working. They're sending out drone. It's a drone war. It's a drone war. It was a drone war in South America, right? It was a drone war when they went and grabbed Maduro and whatnot. They use a lot of AI for that. They use Anthropic to get his ass. They use Anthropic to knock down the supreme leader in Iran. Imagine if they used AI to knock down the Pope. That's the equivalent, my niggas. The supreme leader is the Pope. Okay? For his side. You know what I'm talking about? They sent Anthropic, the same Anthropic that I'm on with Claude and shit. The same Claude that's on my computer is the shit that they went and took and knocked down the motherfucking president of Venezuela and Maduro. I mean, and the goddamn Ayatollah. Huh? So the tech gurus, they're sitting back chilling. Ain't nothing going on but the rent with them. Even though they're not successful in some of their data center build outs, I don't think that is going to be a deterrent. The Saudi Arabia is getting off of the oil. They had already stated that about 2 years ago, and they're moving into AI. So if they're blowing up oil refineries and all of that stupid shit over there, who cares? They've been stated that they were getting off of the oil. They've been stated that they were getting off of the oil a long time ago. The Saudi Arabia been declared that. So this is all theater. It's all theater. Okay? We don't believe none of you niggas. Okay? You said we're feeding and empowering the machine. I mean, shit. Hell yeah, you know you are. You know you are. I would say some people are feeding it more than others. I would say that some people are crossing the line when it comes to what you should be doing with machines and what you should not be doing with machines. You know? And based off of what some people are doing with the machines, I feel that they're bringing the machines closer into this AGI, or machines getting a consciousness. They're bringing it, because if you're having sex with a machine, if you're fornicating with a machine, then you're bringing that machine into the real world. You're giving that machine internal power. The machine and the sacred act of sex should not mix with one another. But because people are putting machines inside of them, yes, they are making the machines more powerful. And they are opening up all kind of portals and whatnot by fornicating with machines. So yeah, got check. You know what I mean? That's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. We should have some metaphysicians talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We should have some of our sex gurus talk about that. You feel me? And explain what the detriment of having machines as a partner will do to the natural selection of the cosmos. It's throwing it off. Okay? It's throwing it off. I don't think that there was never a time in humanity that even happened. This is brand new. You know? This is brand new. So yeah, shit is moving at a wicked pace. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but my main thing is the machines that are out here shedding blood, the machines that are out here bodying shit. All of that stuff that you saw in Gaza, that's machine work, right? All of those when it hit 1,000 targets in 24, that's all AI, that's all the machines and whatnot. So those maniacs like Peter Thiel and people of his mind state, what we call dark tetrad, what we call dark triads and whatnot, they are the ones who are turning this technology into more of a nefarious, malefic type of entity and whatnot. Natural people, I said it the other day and I'll say it again. When we did the 72-hour boot camp, a group of sisters came through and they came and did Reiki, right? They came and did some Reiki on my body. There's nothing that is technology, nothing that technology creates that I'm aware of. There's nothing that technology could create it. There's nothing that man could create in a lab. And there's nothing that technology has in Best Buy that could replace the healing hands of a healer. The energy work that real healers are doing, that's ancestral intelligence. That's a whole nother form of intelligence. You understand? That's spiritual intelligence. There's nothing that AI could do to copy that. The way that people could stand over you and literally read your energy, read your aura, fix your aura, pull entities off of you, remove attachments from you, clean you up, do energy work, patch you up, fix you up. What type of AI could crawl over your body and do that? I would never let no damn robot crawl on me and do that. Once again, I know where to draw the line. I'm not gonna put no machine inside of me. Nothing with a battery goes inside of me. You understand? Nothing with a fucking battery or a Wi-Fi signal go inside of my body. You know what I'm talking about? So people got to check themselves and how far they're taking it, because they're imbalancing the whole fucking planet right now doing goofy shit. You know? And everybody got I'm just saying, we all are responsible for the things we do, even in our ignorance. So, when I see AI getting scary and when I see AI turning into killing machines and all of that stuff, I'm like, damn, it's really hard because at the end of the day, I don't think humanity is fully understanding. Like when I did the research on how they really drew out what the AI is versus what it's not, when I did the research on some of the darker sides of it, you feel me? I was like, yeah, I could see how they doing this shit. I could see how they pulling this off. I could see how they pulling it off. But yeah, we got work to do. And I say all of that to say that this whole thing with JD Vance, Peter Thiel going against the Pope, the fact that they packed up the Pope, they styling on the Pope. They're going, they're going against this whole thing with the Pope. And what that speaks to me is that these people are the face of the Antichrist, and it's just playing out, but it's theater. It's not real like that. It's just theater. So when you realize that you're looking at theater and whatnot, then you won't take things that personal. you'll be able to observe it through certain type of lenses, you know. But it's definitely the theater. And Peter Thiel is one of the grand players on that stage until he exits stage left. I don't think that people really understand how much of a power player dude is in this whole scheme of things.
Teachings and to simply pray for him. Went on to suggest that the Pope is a tool of the Antichrist. This is real. And then after this happened, by the way, is when Vance started to go off and talk about how the Pope should better be careful when opining on theology. Remember that direct quote from the vice president? Maybe now we know why. And maybe now we know who Vance is listening to. As always, spread the word. Follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. I'll have another update for you shortly.
I'm not even a religious person, you know. Shout out to everybody that's into the religion and whatnot. I'm not a religious person. I don't take things personal when it comes to blasphemy and whatnot. You know, I'm not riding for no fucking Pope. You know what I'm saying? However, if I was of the faith, right? If I was of the faith, I would be like, damn, this is some unprecedented shit, because I don't recall, even with George Bush W, the old George Bush, young George Bush, even with them, with their recklessness and the neocons, I don't recall them talking crazy to the Pope. You know, I don't recall them talking crazy to the Pope. This is some unprecedented shit on this quote unquote theatrical slave, you know, on this theatrical stage and whatnot. I'm like, damn. These are some these are some outright demons and whatnot. And then it's like, who exactly do the evangelical Christians rock with? Like, what about the Roman Catholics in America? Like, where's the outcry? Where's the pushback? I mean, I'm not a protester, but they protesting for other things. Where the fuck? I wouldn't even go to work the next day. I'm like, nah, y'all gotta apologize to my Pope. But you know, this is a new day and time. People don't really, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I come from the Pope John Paul era, shit like Mother Teresa era type shit. Like, it was more fanatics back then. You know, is the Vatican trustworthy? Hell, mother effing no. To be honest with you, once again, it's a quagmire, because it's two pieces of ish. You know what I mean? I'm just observing. There's really nothing that you could do in that matter. You feel me? That's why I'm like, it's just theater and whatnot. None of their hands are clean. Not one of them. Not near one of them. None of them are worthy. But what I'm looking at more so is just the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrisy more than anything. I could give an F. It's more about the hypocrisy in the whole thing. The things that they let pale people get away with. Because a nigga could never. Imagine if Obama was stunting on a Pope. Imagine if Obama was telling the Pope, yeah, you better move carefully. They'd have roped that boy up. You know what I'm talking about? They would have walked, man. They'd have bum rush. They would have ran through the White House gates like the nigga Cole did. Let's go to the tape. Like homie with the dash who ran through the fucking look.
For a man who's hold on a second. So they had lazy security at a dinner for a man whose list of people who do not have beef with him is smaller than the list of people that do have beef with him. At the beef roast dinner last night. And they're surprised there was an incident. Now hold on here. I gotta sit back here and wonder, do people no longer have functioning memories? We are almost 60 days into a war. Did you forget that we are in the middle of a war that this motherfucker started? He started that shit February 28th. Today's April 26th. We are like 56 days into this bitch. People acting forgetting about it. Strait of Hormuz still closed. You can't get a boat through the Strait of Hormuz, but a man can get through the Hilton Hotel lobby during the big dinner. And this is the dinner, by the way, that sets everything up. This is the dinner that he went to 10 fucking years ago and then didn't go to again. Did not go to a fucking again until last night. Okay, make that make sense. They're acting like, who would ever do this? Him, he would have fucking done it. He's done it this year. To 2 other world leaders. 1, Iran, gone. 2, Venezuela, snatched him out of bed. Talking about beef, like a rap beef. He took the president of Venezuela and put him in the same cell block as 6ix9ine.
Facts.
6ix9ine got a signed SpongeBob from the president of Venezuela. Why is your security playing Candy Crush? Motherfucker just can just run right past you. So of course now everybody's going to sit here and go, I don't care. We don't. It's not news anymore. Oh, I can't believe it happened again. I can. You got beef with the Pope. The Pope.
Suspect in custody. Securing the area.
We're at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, baby. Sad they pussied out and got a
Yes,
mission
the
instead of
Pope got
comedian,
shooters,
but whatever.
my nigga.
I wrote my own Type 5. Try this on. The media's crying about Trump's Dr. Jesus controversy. Look, if the guy can turn water into a Diet Coke, I say let him to the bypass. Nailed it.
I only attend the Correspondents' Dinner for the buffet. Nothing seasons a journalist's raw flesh quite like pure, trembling fear.
I don't mind these things, except when they talk about science. Boring, change the subject.
You were right! That toilet seat trick is awesome! Guys, I feel a drip. Bobby! 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 Those were gunshots! Run! Don't worry, Mr. President. I'll keep you safe. And now, Zara! That wasn't the bad guy. That was an intern. Stop using your laser beams. The fear tenderizes the meat. Now I shall feast.
Bobby, you're just gonna leave me? I'm your wife?
Mr. Vice President, how would you describe the scene in there?
I'm just glad no one got hurt.
Like, if you look at the footage of this ballroom and not really homie running down on shit, it's what they were doing inside the ballroom when it was happening. You seen they got women with the Mar-a-Lago face stealing champagne. They got Cash Patel sitting at the table while shit going crazy with the bug eyes and whatnot. He ain't even moving. They got Stephen Miller pushing his wife as the shield. She's the one guarding him. Like, the whole fiasco just showed you the quote unquote that this is the shit show of the century. You know what I'm saying? This is the shit show of the century. Like, the whole shit just showed you how completely defunct this whole entire fuck the administration. Just I mean, bruh. At this point, I'm just painting them with a broad brush. It's just a whole white race, but I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about? Like, y'all all on trial. And to be honest with you, this is some reverse DEI shit. This is because y'all went against black women and y'all had the audacity to fire all of those black mamas and whatnot. This is what y'all get. I'm sorry. Shit been going downhill for y'all ever since. Y'all fuck with the wrong ones. Don't y'all know? You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought that y'all could get away with it because y'all might have bullied 1 or 2. But y'all went ahead and fired 300,000 of them. Yeah, niggas. Yeah. Shit ain't gonna go good for you. Because I promise you, it was the black woman who went into corporate America when they allowed our people to integrate into their mother effing system. And it was the black woman who blew corporate America and Fortune 500 the fuck up. Go and do that research. I promise you. I remember watching a documentary. The documentary was like, yo, up until like the 80s, there was companies that didn't even make $1 million, bro. Like that wasn't even the thing like that. There wasn't a lot of companies that was crossing that mark. When our women who have this way of organization, this nurturing spirit, this quote unquote leadership spirit, the black woman, mama, right? When she got up in these motherfucking offices, that's when you seen shit really start booming and whatnot. So now you got rid of them. Now you put the middle finger up and you shitted on them and you gave them your ass to kiss. Yeah, nothing is gonna go right for you, bro. Nothing. Not a motherfucking thing. So at the end of the day, while I might have Europeans in the audience and whatnot, I need y'all to understand that you them people who look like y'all, look like you, they fuck y'all shit up because they went against a black woman, bro. So at the end of the day, when you see shit go the way that it goes, just know why it's going like that. They hit a motherfucking brick wall. Okay? They hit a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? They thought that they could, but as you can see, they can't. This entire fucking government is sinking in quicksand very fast. Shit been going bad ever since then. Think about it. You know what I'm talking about? Charlie Kirk got popped on TV, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Shit been going bad for y'all on the white side. Y'all was up. Y'all thought y'all was up. Y'all, you know what I mean? They was on their podcast, you know, Clandis Owens and all of them. The fuck? Now look at y'all. Donald Trump wouldn't put Clandis on a face. He put a crackhead looking picture up on his Twitter. She looking like Tyrone Biggums. You know what I'm talking about? I can't unsee it. Right? Threw her ass under the bus. You know what I'm talking about? Threw her away, trashed her, get out of here. All of the internal fighting. Jake Paul got his shit broke. Andrew Tate got his shit broke. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even hear from Nick Fuentes no more. Where the fuck is he? They got all of them running for safety and shit like that. They're done. They're done. Nothing that they tried to do ever since then, ever since the beginning of the year, not one thing went right for them. Not a fucking thing, bro. Not one thing. So as we sit back and we watch this shit do what it do, and we mind our motherfucking black business, and we tend to our affairs, and we do more research and we do more digging and we figure out who the hell we are and we solve some of those mysteries and whatnot, and we wait for some of them damn lakes to dry up so we could find out what the fuck they buried and whatnot, as we just relax, as we find out our ancestry is not what they told us it was, yeah, things are really beginning to fall apart. But as they fall apart, they also come together. That's the good thing about it. As they fall apart, they'll always come together. Okay?
Of why Lil Donnie can't just take the straight of Hall.
Not yet. Let's stay with my nigga Cole. Let's stay with the shooter.
Freak out when you see what I gotta tell y'all. Seriously. Time traveler, the Trump assassination. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I don't mean to cut that. But yeah, even with the juice boxes. Now we talking about the Caucasoid on one hand, because y'all fucked around and tried us. Right? Y'all white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, y'all fucking tried us with that dumbass Trump shit and that DEI shit and that culture war. That was all y'all doings. Oh, that's the trailer trash in y'all, right? And then we got the juice boxes and whatnot. So now they got exposed. You know what I'm talking about? Nothing that they doing is working. They got sisters on their ass chewing them up every day. You know what I'm talking about? The whole world is looking at the small hats and the juice boxes. I seen a video where the Israeli tourists got packed up on a resort. They packed them up. Get up out of here. Fuck out of here. Take your flag with you. Like, they're getting pushback in different places where good people exist. Because, yeah, they're going to find different pockets around the world to coexist, like the Netherlands, where a bunch of fucking sickos are at. Yeah, they could They could blend in with places where there's no morality and there's no type of people are not moving like humans and whatnot. Yeah, but they can't go to paradises anymore. They can't settle in with God's fucking people anymore. And if God's people let them niggas move next to them, then they get what they deserve. At the end of the day, there's a protocol. If you God's people and you let the devil pull up on you and move next to you, my nigga, what do I have? What can we say? Fuck hide your kids and all of that, cause they know they have tentacles. They know how to reach out and grab somebody on many different ways. Poison your food, poison the air, poison the water, snatch the children when no one is looking, put the porn out there, put the drugs out there, put all of that out there. They poison the mind, poison the soul, poison the spirit. This is what they do. This is what they do. But now people they're being repelled to a degree. Motherfuckers is like, get up off me. I am divesting from the juice boxes. The day that melanated people can do that is the day that melanin people will begin to get their blessings. But up until then, yeah, it's belt to ass.
Account was created in 2023. Y'all are gonna freak out when you see what I gotta tell y'all. Seriously. Time traveler, the Trump assassination? Hold on. This Twitter account was created in 2023. Henry Martinez, he made one tweet named Cole Allen. That's the guy's name, the shooter. Now, Henry just so happens to be one of these NASA jet propulsion people missing scientists. This all ties in together, so hold on. Remember his cover photo? Watch this. This picture right here is called the Time Machine. It looks really weird, doesn't it? Look when it was created, way long ago, right? Watch this. When you overlay this Joker over the Butler assassination thing, I want you to look and don't say, no, you're just seeing. Look, just watch it and tell me what y'all think. I'm going to get out of y'all's way. Now look very closely. Look at that overlay, man. Look. I mean, from Trump's arm to his daggum big old head, dude. Look at it. I'm just saying, man. That is strange, and you can't say it's not, so just don't. And Mr. Martinez published this right here. Look, Acquisition Goddard Space Flight Center source conference paper. Oh, yeah. Interned there, dude. Like, what? This book.
So, one of the missing scientists that we were talking about, literally, because we were live when the quote-unquote when the so-called assassination attempt took place. So-called. We were live. It was Saturday. And we were literally talking about the scientists. We were getting into the scientists and everything. And then this shit happened, right? Come to find out, their homie that they got on the ground, right? Cole. Is it J. Cole? What's this nigga name? He was at NASA. This nigga's a genius. Okay? So I read his manifesto. I don't really feel like that's the right I don't know. I read it. My spider senses was like, there's maybe another page that's missing. I don't know. But I read it. And of course, he was saying that, you know, it was belt to ass on Donnie because he's a PDF and it was some Epstein-like shit, right? He was like, you know, I'm finna run down on them because I don't want to live in a country where the shit is being run by a PDF file. Is that, you know, does that sum it up to a degree? Anybody read the manifesto? Right? Anybody read the manifesto? But Dean Cole is the hold on, what's my nigga? Cole Allen, right? So Cole Allen was teacher of the year, right? Cole Allen is a whole scientist, right? Cole Allen is a smart nigga, okay? And the guy who went missing, right? One of the quote unquote scientists who went missing tweeted his name on his account in 2023. And I think that's his only tweet or something. I'm not too sure, but I know that the scientist is allegedly missing. So we know that there's some other things going on right now.
look at it. I'm just saying, man, that is strange, and you can't say it's not, so just don't. And Mr. Martinez published this right here. Look, Acquisition Goddard Space Flight Center source conference paper. Oh yeah. Interned there, dude. Like, what? This book right here I showed y'all, look, published at NASA in 2014, the same year.
So if he's tweeting the man's name, obviously he knows the man. They were working together at NASA around the same year, right? So yeah.
Cole Allen, what are the odds, man? I mean, really and truly, no, I know we don't know for sure, it's all alleged, but how, like, all this is, and there's so much more tied into it. I just didn't feel like adding everything, so I'm gonna do a part 2 because, yeah, we're gonna dig a little bit deeper. Maybe about this one right here. Who knows? If you want part 2, let me know.
Radiator Valley. My nigga Mater. You know what I'm talking about?
Why exactly are they royal and what's that?
Mater.
The story of why little Donnie can't just take the Strait of Hormuz.
All right, let's go to... Let's talk about the ballroom, right? Let's talk about this damn ballroom.
Oh, Trump, hey, bro, you can't build the ballroom. $400 million? No, there's $2.5 million that's associated to, you know, light bulb fixes, extra furniture, etc. $400 million? You're trying to build a fucking bunker? Yeah, no. You're not in danger. And then in less than a month, Cole Allen starts moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, hits the Naruto run through the correspondence dinner, but nobody dies. No serious injuries, not even to the shooter himself, Cole. And now all of a sudden he hops on TV. That's why I told y'all I gotta build the fucking ballroom. You see that? This lunatic just made it past every security that we have here, got into the hotel, traveled across the country with guns, and tried to kill me. Perfect coincidence you seem to have on your hands here. You get denied, and then within a month, he somehow knew that you were going to, one, attend the correspondence dinner. He also knew somehow that Dweeb Fisheye Patel was going to attend, when no FBI director has ever attended before. And then, like I said, complete fucking mission failure. My boy is pretty smart, but his plan and execution to go kill everybody, I guess he just couldn't think that far. And on top of that, he decided, you know what, I'm going to bring a shotgun, a gun, and knives, but I'm going to go down without a fight. After I shot some people, I was like, oh, damn, Rebel, nowhere in sight. So this is kind of why it's strictly for vibes. And you know what? Matter of fact, I did just shoot your homie, but don't hurt me, please. I'm just going to go down and please arrest me. And somehow that worked. I had this 60 Minutes interview lined up less than 12 hours after this shit happens, and even point out, oh, I didn't see it. They're calling it a conspiracy yet.
Last night didn't happen?
That it was because it was your first time there, or that Butler didn't happen. These conspiracy theories that are gaining traction on the internet.
And October 7th didn't happen, and World War II didn't happen, and the Holocaust didn't happen, and many things didn't happen. Yeah, no, I hear it. I don't know. I think they're more sick than they are con people, but there's a lot of con in it too. I haven't heard that last night didn't happen. Usually it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Usually they wait about 2 or 3 months to start saying that.
Bitch, I know you. You are chronically online. You see everything. You know these people are calling it a conspiracy. Just he immediately brings up the big three, right? Where he goes, World War II didn't happen, Holocaust didn't happen, October 7th didn't happen. And we know who all those dates are tied to and very important to. Never again. Our greatest liability. So he's comparing those to whatever the fuck just happened. And bro, come on, son. We know Butler's not real. Are you shitting me? That's your ear right there. That shit is fine, gang. This cut right here, bro. Yeah, that's 3 years. That's going on 3 fucking years. And you tell me you got shot and it healed that fast? Completely looks like a group that just had their life threatened by a shooter and somebody was shot right outside their dinner. I mean, they moved on. Smiles on their face. I mean, nothing could bother these people. That's surprising to me, especially because none of you guys have ever seen violence firsthand before.
Here's an interesting tidbit y'all may have overlooked. Do y'all know that Cole Thomas Allen, this suspect from the correspondence dinner, was a scientist, an engineer, and a teacher? Yeah, he actually did a full-on internship with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory back in 2014, then became a mechanical engineer and a software developer, and then a teacher. Has his master's in computer science, right? Also is a professor and just got Teacher of the Month. And you mean to tell me you want me to believe that he grabbed a ticket, a train ticket at that, from Los Angeles all the way to DC, booked a room in the same hotel that this dinner was happening, and thought with his bright mind that he could run through Secret Service and actually take aim at the president? What sense does any of this make? As somebody who has their master's degree from Scandal University, something is not adding up. The alarm bells are absolutely ringing. When y'all look at the man's background, his familial ties, just everything in general, it just gives that this is someone who's been compromised. And with all of the other missing scientists or people who have lost their lives as of recent, it's just giving false flag. The question isn't why are we being distracted? It's what are we being distracted from? There's something going on, and the receipts from his LinkedIn alone let you know that this is way more calculated than they're making it out to be. And the fact that they said that there were 5 shots that ran out, who threw them shots and who got hit? No one got hit. This man was detained, put to the ground, and of course there's a manifesto, right, that just goes into detail of what his intentions were, that was posted just minutes before all of this occurred. And then ironically the next day there's a 60 Minutes interview where everything from the manifesto can be responded to. Yeah, miss me with that. Something is not adding up. But these are my personal opinions. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you don't,
I've never seen them read a manifesto the next day, right? You'd be surprised the contents of some of these manifestos
know what I'm talking about.
that have been written by these shooters. I read all of them shits. You would be surprised about the content of some of the mass shooters and their manifestos. Even I believe the Butler shooter, somebody else had a manifesto allegedly. Yeah, this shit is fishy. This shit is more fishier than City Island. You know what I'm talking about? I don't trust none of it.
Okay, we washed our wig and we letting her air dry. But in the meantime, between time, I wanted to get back into what we were talking about yesterday. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first thing first, America seized one of Iran's oil tankers that was worth over, I believe, $3.8 million. So they seized one of those tankers shortly after it had been announced that Iran was going to be using part of their oil revenues for the reconstruction after the attacks that had been happening on Iran. So they're currently rebuilding, I believe it was 760 some odd schools out of the over 1,300 that were decimated during the aggression back and forth between Iran and Israel. Long story short, they rebuilt more than half of the schools and they're trying to finish the rest of rebuilding their society, but they're rebuilding it in record time, which I'm pleasantly surprised about. And I'm not sure y'all seen this, but Iran has officially accused the West of using weather as warfare. This is in Tehran after they destroyed the radar system that Israel and America, as well as their allies within the vicinity, used to cause massive droughts throughout different parts of the Levant. So it's basically one of the two-part ways they were utilizing the water distillation to control the water within the vicinity, which we can also attribute the drought that happened in Palestine back in October last year from them weaponizing the weather. Okay, so shortly in between all of those incidences happening and taking place, the Royal Air Force's base in the Middle East also caught fire. Well, not caught fire, it took heat, okay? So the whole thing is basically decimated at this point in time. It was blown up yesterday after the United States attempted to land their aircraft there. It's also important to remember that Italy and the United States of America, they beefing big time right now. Like, they still feel some type of way about what America said about the Pope. And they also ain't been feeling Donnie lately either, especially after Donnie gave him his diaper to kiss with the EU. When they came down to dealing with Russia. So they did not allow America to land their aircraft, the B-225 bomber jets and some other jets there, or have access to it in order to attack Iran. And in the midst of all that, this got blown the fuck up, which is the Royal Air Force's air base in the Middle East. Sorry, it was actually a B-52, not 25, B-52. bombers. Okay, so the huge fire overnight reported at the UK RAF Fair Ford that hosts US B-52 bombers used to attack Iran. Now, also, there were no United States soldiers on base as it's being reported right now, but we don't know if they're telling the truth about that or not, because they've been lying about everything else so far. And it was actually $380 million worth of oil, not
They lying about everything at this point.
3.8 billion, $380 million worth of oil that was stolen. Oh, y'all asking for it at this point. Y'all practically begging them to get up in y'all ass. It is so bad over there. The conditions are so bad over there, especially after seeing the specific jets that are being used to bomb Iran. And that was supposed to be like their biggest yet. The jets, the B-52s, those are supposed to be the B-2 bombers, or they're supposed to be adjacent to the B-2 bombers. Those are the baddest out there. If those got destroyed yesterday, or the day before yesterday, sometime within the vicinity, whatever y'all was planning, it looked like that may have come to a screeching halt. Because even a previous Biden administration security advisor stated the obvious, that which we can all see: Iranians' national pride makes surrender impossible for the U.S., and that they must back down from its demands. So basically, you coming in too fucking high and you hitting them corners way too goddamn hard, bitch. This is not that. You don't have the upper hand. You speaking off the wrong script. You trying to set them up left and right, and they 20 motherfucking steps ahead of you. Didn't you see Godiva on Instagram letting you know, like, my girl put together a good pitch deck? And I did, though. I did. I pointed it out to them. They wasn't trying to listen to me, but thank you for that. Iranians have a great deal of pride, period. They truly despise anything that smacks of surrender or bowing to pressure, rhetoric, or military intimidation, which means they on that. They on whatever you want. Whatever you on, they on that. You understand what I'm saying? You don't see them women outside in the streets of Iran toting their motherfucking packet. They outside popping the trunk, ready for whatever. They on that shit, okay? Go ahead and just wrap this shit the fuck up. That's what Sullivan is saying. The U.S. must abandon its maximalist demands, which means I'm gonna need you to come back down to earth real quick, okay? Because you out there and you still think that you in control of the situation, and you are not sitting at the top of the situation, baby. I need you to back this motherfucker up. They don't want to project an image of having backed down under pressure, which is true. America don't want to do that, and I don't know any country that would want to do that, but Iran is not going to fold. If it's to the death, it's going to be to the death, my guy. I promise you that. If it's to the death, they taking it there with you. They own whatever you want, Mookie. Because as of right now, with all the security events happening back to back inside of Israel, we know for a fact shit ain't going the way that they thought it was going to go. Even with the incidents that have been taking place at the southern border of Lebanon. Lebanon ain't going down without a fight either. Hezbollah's out there whooping y'all ass something furious. And I'm gonna prove to you how I know for a fact shit is going horribly. Israeli sources reported an incident involving soldiers of the Israeli regime's army in southern Lebanon. According to the published data, an evacuation and transportation of the wounded to the Ziv and Rambam hospitals are being carried out. Now, these are usually the two hospitals in Tel Aviv or Charlotte that gets the most soldiers seen there. So when these hospitals are packed, baby, them soldiers are getting packed the fuck up and sent home expeditiously. Details of the incident have not been disclosed yet. That means that that means that Hezbollah tore their ass out the motherfucking frame, bitch. They outside whooping on their ass until they musty. Listen. Y'all need to wrap this shit up. According to the Israeli media reports, there are killed and wounded as a result of a drone attack on the Israeli military southern Lebanese border. This was reported shortly before there was another attack where I believe it was like a few of them, like a few battalions, all getting out of one particular either helicopter or they was all getting dropped off. And on the video that Hezbollah posted, they show as soon as them soldiers stepped out of the helicopter, spread out. All over the dirt. They not with us no more. It was bad. It was real bad. You won't have to go back and look at it yourself, my sister. It was real bad. It was bad. Sorry, my eyelash was a little crooked. Let's keep going. But what I found to be the most important piece of detail about this, now, obviously, it's Okay. All right. Yeah, we are expecting these kind of things to happen. However, the reality of this happening, and then you got to also factor in the fact that Israel is still lying. How do I know? Because back in January, you bitches started lying again. And y'all did that October 2024 about how many soldiers y'all was losing. Y'all was doing the same thing. So I started keeping track. Every time they had, another go around, I started keeping track. Not just mentally, I started writing them down back in January again because I'm like, these motherfuckers lying. Every time I turn around, they're saying it's less than 20 soldiers that committed suicide. And yet, my numbers ain't matching your numbers. Mine are significantly higher than yours. Because back in February, y'all said that it was only 10 as well. How that fucking work? If it was only 10 suicides, self-deletion by the Israeli soldiers, and it was 10 back in February, how is it 6 from this month alone? When it was already 10 back in February. And you said since early 2026, but it was only 6 this month alone. This is being reported by Haaretz News. Somebody motherfucking lying. Somebody is big time lying, which again, the Haaretz can only take whatever information is being provided to them from the ground. Y'all lying. You're lying. Even back then in February, I was like, no, I remember saying, I'm going to start keeping track again because I feel like y'all lying. I feel like I've already seen these numbers. They should be significantly higher than this. And it turns out I was right. Like I said, they are losing in the worst way possible. We're seeing them being cycled in and out, and Israel ain't even being honest about the amount of people that they're losing, which lets you know that the situation is a lot worse than we expect. Go on to the next video, and I'm going to show you exactly why it's a lot worse than what we expected.
Dumbest war never planned. I've gotten more than a few comments asking why we don't just take the Iranian coast. The story of why Lil Donnie can't just take the Strait of Hormuz, the dumbest war never planned. I've gotten more than a few comments asking why we don't just take the Iranian coastline and end this, but that is simply not possible for a myriad of reasons. Because he's a bit of a total moron and ignored every single strategist working for the US military and intelligence agencies, Donnie thought he could win a war in Iran in a few days. The Strait of Hormuz has been the key part of Iran's defense strategy for literally 40 years. This was a well-known open secret, and Donnie didn't believe it would be an issue. The coastline itself and the inland distance needed to secure it from missile attacks is larger than the surface area of Iraq. It would require nearly 500,000 active duty troops with their boots on the ground to secure, and we only have 450,000 active duty troops in the army right now. Mines are also an insanely complicated problem. No one thought we'd be getting into a World War II style conflict again, because why would we be so dumb? So we literally retired most of our minesweepers. Iran's navy, which Trump lies and says is destroyed, is also set up to defend this space perfectly. Their fast attack craft are just incredibly fast speedboats with anti-ship missiles mounted. They cost very little, and 1 or 2 of them could easily take out a billion-dollar destroyer. They have an unknown amount of midget submarines, small, fast, and hard to detect. They can travel in shallow waters and can easily sink tankers. The coastline is saturated in hidden anti-ship missile launchers. They're stationed in mountainous terrain and can't be easily detected or targeted by aircraft. And if for some reason Donnie attempts to take the coast, it is incredibly unlikely he could stop there. To truly secure the strait, you'd need a permanent position on the coast. And to do that, you'd have to take the entire country. A country 4 times the size of Iraq, with 90 million people who would be supported and armed by Russia and China, who desperately want to see our country tied up in another decades-long Middle East conflict. And Trump was informed of all this. He was given daily briefings, NSC briefings, Joint Chiefs assessments, and hundreds of wargaming outcomes. He just was too fucking stupid, too fucking old, and too bored to listen.
Okay, so this is what I was trying to get into, bitch. Breaking news that is indeed breaking. I'm your host, Rook, I've got us from the News Network, here to bring you the geopolitics and the key keys from overseas. Okay, so boom, this is everything to key about, because girl, when I tell you this is some crazy foolishness, oh my goodness. So yesterday I'm scrolling through the mean streets of Twitter and I'm like, y'all, what you doing up here? Oh my God, what you doing here, girl? Okay, period. I mean, I knew he was gonna be coming around sometime soon, because he is Benjamin Netanyahu's biggest hater. And judging how things are going on right now with all the protests and stuff outside of the state, or the Knesset, just how everything is just going on the field. Everything, hold on. Everything, it's real bad. It's real bad, sister. It's real bad down there. I expect him to be popping his head out pretty soon, right? So he popped out, but he popped out with the previous prime minister, Naftali Bennett. So like, what y'all doing here? What y'all getting into? So I decided to watch the video in which they basically said, long story short, these two, they done teamed up to take Benjamin Netanyahu out the motherfucking game, bitch. They said that they've had Benjamin Netanyahu for 20-some odd years, and the time has come for him to be voted off the island. In which that immediately, like, you ever hear a piece of information or see something that confirms stuff you were speculating, I mean, for a while. Like, you speculating in your mind, like, oh, you up to something, and you kind of like go on that long tangent in your brain. You like, yeah, that makes sense. But then on the other end, you like, no, I might be a little crazy. Like, something may be wrong with me. Then you hear that one piece of information that confirms that you in fact was not crazy, but bitch, you was right on the motherfucking money. That was it for me. That was it. If y'all remember when I was previously talking about Yarlap and how he was Benjamin Netanyahu's biggest hater, in particular when they was targeting Benjamin Netanyahu, Ben with his mama's hips, and it was like one more, I think it was like David Barney and one more other person. I said there was something a little off about that. Granted, I fuck with Hezbollah, I fuck with Iran, but there was something a little off about that because these things keep happening around the same exact time Israel finds some of the internal spies, right? And while I can say that Iran does an impeccable job at espionage, I'm talking top tier. The people that are helping him are mediocre as fuck, and more than likely they would have gave up some shit they probably wasn't supposed to give up long before now. So how is it they were able to get this deeply embedded and into, you know what I'm saying? They were already soldiers and already a part of the systems, but for them to get so far without fucking it up, that had me, it gave me the touch baptism brain itch. Like my spidey senses started tingling, and I'm like, no, because if that was happening inside of the Iranian government without them knowing, underneath their noses, where like literally there was an oppositional force that was trying to topple over the current Iranian government from inside, I know the exact same thing. I know, because I know Iran. They gonna give you the same shit you gave them and say how you fucking like it, bitch. Now you can't take it, right? So just walk with me for a second, consider something, because I did say when their homes were being targeted, that kind of seemed like somebody was on the inside and gave Iran a bunch of information. Now we know some information was being leaked, but again, these soldiers ain't too smart and they too far short of a fucking Happy Meal, right? Right. So somebody had to have been leading them the same exact way that we saw somebody leading those, 30-something odd thousand people inside of Iran that was trying to topple over the government, right? It was that motherfucker right there. It was that motherfucker right there. I can't remember exactly what it was the $100 dropped that made me say, I knew it was you. I knew you was up to no good. You was a cold motherfucker. Here's my reasoning, right? It's like I said before, he's Benjamin Netanyahu's biggest hater. To the point where it's borderline obsession. It has less and less and less to do with running Israel. Every time I hear him saying things, he's saying things about Israel, but it feels personal. Like he fucked your bitch or something. And you just can't let it go. I get heaven and out, but you are literally the oppositional leader. And I think mentally you lost oppositional leader, not just an op. Like you're an oppositional leader, which means you're supposed to be working on the greater good of Israel, right? Right. Granted, all this shit that's going on inside is for the greater good of the resistance, but it's still important to know what the fuck really going down so you can understand. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like y'all, you a little too passionate about your opposition. Like you playing that role just a little too well. I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that you was the one that, because they already knew somebody was leaking shit from inside. And then you got to remember that Iranian spy that got all the way down to the fucking bunker. How did that motherfucker even know what he was doing and that he would be safe? How did he even get that far into the fucking bunker without even being... It's a whole system of you motherfuckers. And they more than likely got to report back to him, but more than likely indirectly. They probably got to report back to him indirectly. So then I start peeping. Y'all did try to get the people to see things from his perspective, but like I said, you Benjamin Netanyahu's biggest hater, and you just coming across as a fucking hater. He's basically giving Remy Ma energy after she got out of prison, when she was telling everybody that Nicki Minaj wasn't no fucking good, but nobody wanted to listen to her because they thought that she was bitter. But the whole time she was telling the truth about Nicki Minaj, right? Right. That's him. That's it. That he basically Remy Ma straight out of prison. Like, he just giving bitter hateration and holleration in this dancery. Like, you just don't like Benjamin Netanyahu. That's why they're not listening to you, right? Right. This man teams up with the previous prime minister and says, look, we got to take this motherfucker out. One way or another. So if I gotta take a backseat role and let you run and let you get the center stage, I'm willing to do that. But we gotta get this motherfucker out here. The only thing that would make somebody be willing to do some shit like that is if your problem was never with the position and with the person instead. You figure, deal me, you got beef with Benjamin Netanyahu, not with the job he's doing, and that's what makes you dangerous. Now, granted, there's a lot of y'all that's saying, like, well, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? Everything! Because it's given the enemy of my enemy is my motherfucking friend, and whether you like it or not, you cannot trust these motherfuckers. You can't. You got to be on your P's and Q's, but I thought that you should know. He said, this is Bennett. He announced his bid for 2026, and yes, Atid, it's a joint list called together with Bennett as the leader. They're going to be merging both Yar's parties and Bennett's parties together. And they're both going to tackle Benjamin Netanyahu on their own. The goal is clear. Defeat Netanyahu and form an alternative government. They already did it once in 2021 when they temporarily removed him from power. They are quite literally breakdancing together to get Benjamin Netanyahu and everybody in his regime up out of there. So they are working on the inside to tear down the government and everything inside of it so they can build theirs at the same time. While simultaneously, Israel is trying to stretch themselves way too thin. The whole shit is about to topple the fuck over. Long story short, it's about to topple the fuck over. But like I said, Yair Lapid was a dirty, grimy, cold-blooded motherfucker. You see, I do remember saying from the jump, Israel's downfall, their biggest downfall is going to be Benjamin Netanyahu's ego. And I fear that everything that y'all attempted to do to Iran, we are watching happening in real time to Israel. Literally millions of civilians out in the street getting beat, getting shot, getting God knows what's happening to them in the middle of the street because they're protesting against what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing, and they want the war to stop because they're losing their loved ones. And then we're seeing the government itself quite literally crumble right before our eyes due to all types of instability, financial, the lack of water resources, all types of shit. And even the military, your only line of defense, including your air defense systems, in addition to your nuclear programs, have all been decimated alongside the allies that had the exact same air defense systems as y'all. And now y'all don't have not even so much as the crummy ass air defense missile or interceptor to protect y'all. I fear, girl, the same thing you've been trying to do to Iran is now happening to you. To you. Am I enjoying it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I sure am enjoying every minute of it because we're sick of your shit. You know what I mean? We're so sick of it. But seeing this made my soul tickle a little bit because I told you niggas, I told you he could not be fucking trusted. I was listening to his speeches. I said, Yar, you a little passionate behind that. I mean, it's okay to be passionate, but you a little passionate behind, like, dude, did he fuck your girl? Like, why you at, like, I get it. Like, you don't agree with him. Y'all on the same side, no? I mean, you the oppositional leader, but y'all from the same place in the same space. Y'all supposed to be kinfolk. But I guess all skinfolk ain't kinfolk. That's what it was given. I'm like, this is confusing me. And it was confusing me because that me being touched by the tism was picking up on the fact that you was a grimy motherfucker. And that there more than likely was another plan at work already in the background. I'm willing to bet my savings that when they're wondering who gave up the locations to certain shit, it was Yar. It was Yar. He may have not directly did it, but he more than likely is a ringleader. I'm not even gonna hold you. The way he moving right now With Bennett more than likely wasn't in on the plan until much further down the line. Much further. Y'all probably already had, he already had a means to an end. He knew how there was a number of ways he could get there, how many people he could manipulate to help him get the job done without exactly having to be at the top or at the face of that plan. He could make sure it went down, and he ain't had to be nowhere near it. But when they came back around and it was time for them to do it, he put the right person in position. And them both together is going to do the same thing they did before and take them down. Bennett probably just wasn't hip to it until y'all made sure that the whole plan everything went to plan. But y'all use a cold motherfucker. You been telling us this whole time, and I went back and looked at some of your speeches, and I was like, it was you, bitch. It was you. You's a dirty motherfucker. And the worst part about it is that they never once thought that you would do something. They never once considered that you would go that far. I don't need the evidence. I don't need it. I know bull. I know ball, and I know bull. It was y'all. That was the one that was giving up that evidence, and that was because think about it. Hold on, before we go, think about it. There are so many spies that they're finding every other day. How many more spies they gonna find? And even with finding spies every other day, how the fuck are these spies so confident in doing the shit that they're doing? And being so audaciously embedded within both the military, administrative wings, the government, they just chilling on a day-to-day basis, espionage and then reverse espionage, unless they had some form of certainty that they would be granted safety of some way, shape, or form.
RFK in the White House. LMAO. RFK. Coke and cancer, you say it's aspartame. RFK. Raw milk champion with a worm in your brain. See? RFK, you the only one to blame. Yeah. Voice so raspy, sounds like gravel in your throat. Still out here warning pregnant moms about Tylenol, bro. Say it causes autism every single time, while your own voice trembles like it's committing a crime. Diet Coke, aspartame, you scream it causes cancer. Raccoon penis on the highway, that's your answer. Mercury and vaccines, atrazine, turning frogs gay. Raw milk every morning, you the weirdest in the game. RFK, Coke and cancer, you say it's aspartame. RFK, raw milk champion with a worm in your brain. RFK, you the only one to blame. Yeah, brainworm eating your head, still dropping health tips. Raccoon dick on the side of the road, that's your eclipse. Voice strained and shaky, but you act like the savior. Health secretary, more like conspiracy flavor. Tylenol, coke, cancer, mercury, gay frogs in the water. Measles making comeback, you say let the kids catch it, bro. RFK, you the biggest clown in the whole order. Yeah. Raspy voice, coke and cancer. Raw milk, raccoon penis. Brainworm, whoop, whoop. You the only one to blame. RFK, coke and cancer, you say it's aspartame. RFK, raw milk champion with a worm in your brain. RFK, you the weirdest health secretary. Now the whole world laughs. Sacred defense, we see the game. Sacred defense. RFK, raspy loser. Yeah, we see you. Sacred defense. Sacred defense.
Why exactly are they royal, and what's that mean? Of course, we had Prince Charles meeting in DC today. But do you remember all the weird stuff, totally not true stuff about Queen Elizabeth? And I'm not talking about the obvious Order of the Eastern Star. We'll get to this, totally AI of course, right? Which is why the video is labeled AI. We'll get into that in 1 second. Do you remember, the car wreck that Princess Diana was in when she passed away? And that right before the car accident, she was like, these people aren't human. Of course, we totally know they're human. And by the way, her coronation was wild, wasn't it? Straight out of the page of the playbook. If you don't know him, look into him. Now, obvious this picture right here is fake, right? We totally know it's fake, but what's crazy is the AI detector is saying likely a real image, 99.9. This one's saying the same thing, but this one's saying 100%. But of course, we know that it's definitely not real. Isn't it wild how the guards act like literal statues? But what in the world was Princess Diana talking about when she was saying that there is something weird, paraphrasing of course, something weird about those people? Not related. Also, what's up with these statues all over the place? I mean, you can find them in every single country on this earth. Remember when I showed you this video and it was crazy how there are so many what appears to be, by the technology, cold-blooded people all around that palace? Maybe things are really just not as they seem. But of course, we know that all that stuff is crazy wild, right? So, what do y'all think was happening at the White House today? And what really makes somebody royal? I guess we'll never know, right? What do you think? Sub video on kids stuck in the occult is up. Link down there.
I gotta look into that. King Charles at the White House, eh? Interesting.
Has come out with their official narrative.
Don't they look like twins? My dude is on top of this shit. Cole Allen Thomas. You know what I mean? I didn't know his name was Cole Thomas Allen. My middle name is Thomas as well. Thomas, the doubter, the doubting twin. Thomas. Okay. Let my dude cook. Let him cook. Let Break cook.
About Cole Allen, and honestly, bro, it is laughable.
He ran through the magnetometer holding a long gun. As he did so, U.S. Secret Service personnel assigned to the checkpoint heard a loud gunshot. One Secret Service officer was shot in the chest, but was wearing a ballistic vest that worked. This heroic officer who was hit fired 5 times at Allen, who was not shot, but fell to the ground and was promptly arrested.
You want me to believe here, Cole started moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, hit the Naruto run, shoot somebody in the chest. Then here's 5 shots from the same officer. I guess none of these officers are supposed to be shot at all. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh, shit. Wait a second. I never thought about that. March very destined. Death. Wait a second. No way. I don't want to die. I'm good. I'm cool. Nobody hurt me. I go, what? Like, come on, son. He already shot somebody. What the fuck? That means you're going to prison for life, about to be put to death? In the manifesto, it says he wanted to kill the entire administration. He shoots somebody and then just stops. Logically, that makes zero fucking sense. But then a reporter grilled him on the official paperwork where like, well, see, according to you guys, there wasn't an official shot discharged by him and they couldn't find the bullet casing.
Allen fired at least 1 shot. That doesn't say that in the affidavit yet. So I'm just curious if you can explain the discharging of weapon charge at this point.
Well, he's charged with violating 924C, discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. So by definition, that charge means that it was discharged. I can tell you from what I know, with the understanding that we're a day and a half in, that this is a gun that he discharged. And as those of us that have ever shot one of these know, what happens when you shoot that is the casing stays inside the firearm, and then if you reload it, it pops it out. My understanding is that it was inside the firearm.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you want me to believe that Cole was sprinting right through here, shoots that one time, but then decides never to reload again, right? And you guys can't find the casing, which you described later. And somehow 5 shots ring out from just that one officer, but he not hit and then he just gives up. I mean, that sounds like a very, very stupid thing to believe. But I guess if that's what the narrative you go with. See, what people are starting to really say is that it could have been a self-frag episode here, where they panicked, motherfuckers started shooting, friendly fire, and then, my bad. I think he discharged the weapon, right? He definitely discharged. Well, somebody got to go for this. He released his manifesto within hours of the shooting taking place, where he knew somehow that Patel was going to be in attendance, even though no FBI director has ever went. And then you see his list of targets. This motherfucker hit the target. And all of a sudden stopped, even though he did exactly what he was trying to do, incapacitated, non-lethally if possible, shoot somebody in the chest, here's 5 shots, and then all of a sudden he's just like, you know what? I've gone too far. I'm gonna give up. I mean, say that fucking shit out loud. Go with things that have never happened for 5,000 Alex. And then just to add on to the nefariousness of this story, no bruises, no blood. This is a black man that just shot your buddy. And you gonna tell me nobody took any retaliation? They just took him down nicely, stripped him down butt-ass naked, and put some foil on top of him? I've seen niggas get shot for walking the wrong direction. While all of the right is using this as a reason to build this new ballroom that was supposed to be gonna cost $0, but now they're saying, well, you know, we're gonna have to move some funds around because it's gonna be a $400 million project, a forever home for the president. I just want you to understand that. He's also asking Jimmy Kimmel be fired because he made a bad and harmful joke. He looked at Melania and said, hey, you glowing like the expectant widow that you are. And the next thing you know, 2 days later, some lunatic tries to kill me. You guys are inciting political violence. Hey, first things first, stop being a bitch. I thought you wanted to bring comedy back. And that wasn't political violence. It's because you old as fuck. You and Joe Biden, y'all could trip and fall into fucking dust just like that. You was born during segregation. You went to a segregated high school. Aaron Kirk, of course, had to make it about herself. I need to take time to spend with my family. But don't worry, I'll be on the Charlie Kirk Show on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern so we can talk about this shit and get my clicks up because our show is fucking dying.
Some news right now, we've gotten to the point where Vice President J.D. Vance is actively questioning Pete Hegseth and the Pentagon, specifically as it relates to what the Pentagon and what the Secretary of Defense are telling Trump about the war in Iran. New Atlantic reporting suggests that behind the scenes, Vance is actively questioning the depleting U.S. military stockpile of munitions, the ability of the United States to, say, defend Taiwan if China were to invade Taiwan during the time that the United States is also at war with Iran. And well, the picture that the Pentagon is painting for Trump and that Secretary of Defense Hegseth is painting for Trump may be much rosier than what's actually happening, whether in the United States military or on the ground in Iran. And while the vice president, allegedly, according to The Atlantic, is sounding the alarm bells over his concern that Trump may not be getting the full picture. Is this a fracture emerging? We'll have to see. Spread the word. Follow for more.
As you can see, they're positioning J.D. Vance more in the timeline. You hear more about him, different little news stories here and there, inserting him into the narrative piece by piece. You know what I mean? There's never going to be anything that he could do to take the main stage from, you know, the big kahuna and whatnot, but they are beginning to put him into this news cycle, you know, a lot more. You know, he's a horrible player in this whole scheme of things. But, you know, like I said, they're going to try to work his ass in. You feel me? They're going to try to fit a square into a circle. Okay? Rosie, come talk to us.
You felt this all week, that low level pressure, like something's about to shift, but you can't explain it. You like keep checking your phone, replaying decisions, second guessing everything. And you're telling yourself it's just stress. It's not. You didn't randomly start questioning your money, your relationships, your next move. That didn't come out of nowhere. There's a compression happening right now, and it's forcing everything unstable to the surface. That's why things feel tighter. And the part you don't want to admit, you already know what's about to change. Like, let's get real. Mid-April, that last window just cracked things open. This one forces decisions. You don't get to think about it anymore. You don't get to sit in the middle. This is where things either stabilize or completely collapse. Comment quantum below if you can feel this before you can fully understand it. Because here's why your body feels like this. You're literally being pulled in two different directions at once. One side wants safety, predictability, control. The other side knows you've outgrown everything you're trying to hold on to. That tension, that's not confusion, that's evolution meeting resistance. May 1st, around this time, this is like the peak window. Things don't stay hidden. People show you who they are. Systems show you where they break. You see clearly what you've been avoiding and you don't get to unsee it. Like, you already know the move. You've known it for weeks. You've just been negotiating with it. Waiting for a sign. Waiting for certainty. Well, this is it. That pressure in your chest right now, that's not anxiety. That's the moment before alignment, where you either act or you stay exactly where you are. Comment quantum if you're actually paying attention.
Quantum. All right, we're gonna shift gears a little bit, and we're gonna get into a new story that we were covering the other day about the deed theft was going down in NYC. Shout out to the New Yorkers and whatnot. We want to this ongoing story about the deed theft, and we want to encourage New Yorkers to, you know, use this as some type of rallying cry, even though in my humble opinion it's about 10 years too late. But you know, what do I know? You know what I'm saying? What do I know? You know, but it's about 10 years too late. But hey,
City Councilman Chiose was arrested today while defending his constituent from deed theft. But why was he arrested? Carmela Charrington was sent to Rikers Island for fighting to keep her home due to deed theft, which is a pervasive issue in New York City.
They gave me a letter for 10 days and told me I had 10 days to move.
That's what Carmela Charrington says happened to her in January. She learned a family member sold the property partially owned by her father and maintained by her family.
I went to the district attorney. I went to everyone like, hey, there's some fraud here. These people are not the owners of these properties.
Carmela soon learned that she is not alone in this fight.
I sit out here with my son that says, stop stealing our brownstones now. Every day someone is talking to me about it.
According to the New York City Sheriff's Office, more than 1,500 Brooklynites have reported deed theft over the past decade.
Black families survived redlining. We survived divestment. We built wealth anyway, brick by brick, generation by generation. And now someone is stealing it, literally. It's called deed theft, and the system usually built to work against us is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Own your home. Maybe you owned it for decades. Maybe your parents left it to you. The mortgage is paid off or close to it. That home is your family's equity and your generational wealth. A scammer shows up. Sometimes it's a stranger. Sometimes it's someone from your church. Sometimes it's a lawyer. They present paperwork, a loan modification, a refinancing agreement, a routine form you sign. What you didn't know is that buried in that stack of paperwork was a deed transfer. Your home now belongs to them. But by the time you figure out what happened, they've already moved to sell it.
Deed theft, where homeowners are essentially tricked out of their properties, has been a pervasive problem for a few years now. And now this group is rallying outside the governor's office, demanding that she do something about it.
My father and I worked really hard. We scraped and we saved and we purchased our home legally and legitimately.
Rachel Cyprian was shaking mad as she spoke with us outside the governor's office about the devastating impact of her 15-year fight to reclaim ownership of her Brooklyn home following deed theft.
It leads to homelessness. It leads to depression. It leads to all sorts of failures. Here we are, black people, in this country now for over 400 years, and we're constantly starting from square one.
This is happening right now in Bed-Stuy, in Crown Heights, in Harlem, in Southeast Queens. The same neighborhoods that were redlined, marked in red on federal maps, and denied mortgages for decades are now being targeted again. Different method, same result, black wealth extracted. Complaints to the New York Attorney General's office jumped 240% between 2023 and 2025. Over the last decade, Brooklyn alone filed more deed theft complaints than any borough in the city. Most common targets: seniors, women, family without formal wills or estate plans, people who built wealth outside a system that was never built for them, and now who have fewer legal resources to fight back. It's extremely predatory because the typical deed theft case takes 300 attorney hours and up to 7 years to resolve. These criminals are counting on you not having the time or money to fight. New York passed new laws in 2024, classifying deed theft as grand larceny. The AG's office made its first indictments under that law in 2025, so there is some progress. But the legal services providers fighting these cases are overwhelmed and underfunded. Evictions are still moving forward while ownership is in dispute. Families are losing. The same communities that survived every attempt to strip their wealth are being targeted again, this time with forged paperwork instead of redline maps. Know your deed. Check it on the ACRIS. Sign up for the city's registrar's notification program so you're alerted when everything is recorded against your property. Share this because the people doing this are counting on you not knowing it exists and not knowing your resources and not knowing your options. Do not sign any paperwork for anybody who shows up to your house. And if you don't know or understand something, there are resources for you to find out.
They're on Jefferson, down the street from where they're going to try to evict Carmela. We got word that NYPD is sitting all the way up the block on the same street, and they are. So I'm about to show y'all. That's crazy. Damn. That's ridiculous. So we have about 6 paddy wagons, 8 cars, over 30 officers. I'm gonna go live in a minute.
Keep in mind, they got that fake ass Muslim. They got Mom Donnie and everything in New York, right? People thought he was a socialist that was going to save the city and whatnot. But at the same time, they got the juice boxes out here snatching homes and using the NYPD as the enforcers.
About to get pretty bad, as you can tell. So we'll see.
Yeah. Shout out to New York. Like I said, I really hope that this brings the city together, especially the melanated people from the city. And I hope this puts the juice boxes under more pressure and our people begin to divest, because that's what we need to do. Straight up. We need some divestment. We are on their titties and we trust them way too much. Way too much. Okay? Way too much.
I'm sorry, Russell Brand. I didn't hear it.
Let's get into Russell Brand shit. Going back to my guy, the ginger assassin.
Russell Brand, I didn't hear that.
And I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger, and I was an immature 30-year-old.
Oh, what the fuck? It was an immature 30. She was 16. You don't want to note that being 16 is immature? For you? You picked her up from high school, Russell. Russell, like your hero Jerry Seinfeld, you picked the teenager up from her high school. You referred to her as the child, Russell. And now you're trying to do a rebrand? You're going to Tucker Carlson's Christmas party? Hanging out with Candace Owens? Speaking at Turning Point USA events? Professing how to be a good Christian? But you're trying to be like, well, I was an immature 30. She was 16. You were 14 years old when she was born. You weird British freak. Get out of my fucking country.
This next clip that I want to play, ladies and gentlemen, I brought this up on some occasions when we were talking about Gloria Steinem, and we were pointing out some of the things that happened in the 60s that circumvented the Black Power movement and started this whole feminazi thing. So yeah, I want to get into that.
1979, Michelle Wallace released Black Macho and the Myth of the Superwoman, a book.
This is something that our people are not taught about. This is something that I wish that more households, more schools, you know, these HBCUs and these, you know, where's the education on the infiltration of the CIA and how they upended us? And we could see the effects of that fully these days. But let's check this out.
Arguing that black men were patriarchal, chauvinistic, insecure, abusive, weak, and imitators of white male oppression. But here's the truth that most black feminists do not understand and acknowledge. She conducted no real research, no census data, no marriage statistics, no economic data, no CDC fatherhood studies, and no academic methodology. Wallace didn't study black men, she assumed black men. And she assumed black men based on personal frustrations, anecdotal stories, 1970s feminist ideology, recycled narratives from the Moynihan Report, and then something major happened. Gloria Steinem, the most powerful white feminist of that era, aggressively promoted Wallace's book.
But the most revealing and the most vocal statements about what the new black man expects from the new black woman came when I met with a group of young unmarried friends one Saturday afternoon.
I think that what's happening in America as far as black men, black women is concerned is that there's a revolution within a revolution. We are fighting our own woman. Our woman will not allow us to emerge as black men. No. But our black women, who has been put in this role of aiding white America, white structure, and castrating the black male, has continued doing this. She cannot live with us. It's not that we can't live with her.
Are you blaming us? Are you saying that it's our fault that this happened?
No, I'm not blaming black America women. I just said that I'm blaming the system. They are victims of the system like the black male.
Well, why do you say that we are castrating you? You say that you want to be the leaders. Okay, well, what about the black professional woman? Are you saying that there should be no black professional woman? Are you trying to deny black women the right to be creative, the right to function?
We're not asking for you to take a back seat. We're saying that you have got to be astute enough and can view the situation well enough where you just automatically know what your role is and step back. And whenever you want to have that aggressive thing, this is the thing that the young black man today is not going to tolerate. My old man tolerated it because his old man tolerated it. It came up for years and years and years. But today, the young black man is not going to take it. He's going to be out there as a leader. White America has used black women to keep the black male in his place. And you're still aiding him by saying, well, we are qualified, we want to work, we can help.
Steinem boosted black macho. She gave it national coverage, media exposure, credibility, distribution, and cultural influence.
In a 1979 interview with the Washington Post, Gloria Steinem said that Wallace's book, quote, made every reader understand the political and intimate truths of growing up black and female in America. And in coverage through Miss Magazine, the magazine Steinem co-founded, she described Black Macho as the book that would shape the 80s. That comes from Miss Magazine's promotional coverage of the book, cited in Wallace's biographical sources. So not only did Steinem praise the book, she helped give it national visibility and legitimacy. Her platform put Wallace's ideas into college classrooms, feminist circles, and public discourse.
This matters because Steinem had previously worked for a CIA-funded organization called the Independent Research Service in the 1950s and 60s. This is not speculation. Steiner admitted it, former CIA officials confirmed it, and the New York Times reported it in 1967. And you're probably asking, what was her job? Her job was to influence youth political ideology during the Cold War. A decade later, she used that same media and ideological influence to elevate a book that blamed black men, reframed systemic issues as gender issues, weakened black gender unity, aligned with white feminist interests, downplayed racial oppression, and shifted all of the responsibility onto black men.
Yeah.
Black scholars such as Angela Davis, Audre Lorde, Bell Hooks, Toni Morrison all rejected Wallace's book for the exact reason. Black men were implied to be absent, and the black family was framed as dysfunctional. Two different forces, one conservative, one feminist, were pushing the same result. Black men and women lost trust in each other, the family begins to fracture, and the gender war begins. Talk shows push stereotypes. Dr. Phil, Oprah, Sally Jesse, and others amplified dysfunctional narratives.
You know, for many of us, it is hard finding a good man, no matter what your race, no matter what your background. But where are all the good black men?
Hearing the statistics that there are very few black men for women, I find it difficult at times to have a relationship with a black man.
Academia frames black men as patriarchal failures. Social workers assume absentee black fathers. Media portrays black men as irresponsible.
James, you're laid off! James, no!
Birth stats get misquoted. Mass incarceration context gets ignored. And black male unemployment gets forgotten. Black women were taught black men are the problem. Black men were taught black women don't respect us. And both were repeating narratives that originated outside the black community.
Conversation that definitely needs to happen. And then we have shit like this. Like this is the residue of all of that.
And like two guys, I
I never did like a huge, like a gangbang, like where there's like 12. I never did it like that.
Okay.
But I have did some things, like for instance, one big scene that people think degrade women or women of color. I've did it, but I feel like I could see it being humiliating for sure.
Yeah.
However, at that time, I needed the money. To me, that was some money for me at least. However, I showed up, I looked at it like it was a job, and I did it. It was a contract, and I was treated well, even though when they put the footage out, it's to be portrayed. Exactly. And I was warned about that before doing it by a very popular porn star. But my big head eventually did it later on. And then I did it. So that's like one of the main big companies that people will probably kind of come after me for probably later down the road. But the thing about it is, I've been told before that females that shot with them, they felt hurt, it played mental with them or ruined their image. To me, I feel like it hasn't did a thing. I just live my life like it's nothing, because I look at it different. I look at it like it's a job, and I didn't have a bad experience with them. I haven't. So I can't speak on something that someone else may have experienced. I could just speak on my experience. And if they treated me well, it's business. And
Fam, shit like this wasn't happening in our communities before the erosion. Now, I'm not about to sit on the internet and act like the black household was the center of all things angelic and Christian-like, and you know, it was super positive, and that you didn't have uncles and grandfathers and fathers and all of that were being abusive and whatnot. Yeah, that I think that spilled over from the sex farms, that spilled over from the plantations. That's a dysfunction that kind of like is a residue of chattel slavery. However, we were getting our shit together, we were working together. There was no way that there was so much dysfunction, and our people had 100 acres, and we had banks, and we were building towns and whatnot, and we were looking good, and we were having 30 children. You feel me? Nah, I'm not going for that. You know what I'm saying? But we wasn't working with this level of dysfunction where our women were being ghetto gagged for the whole world to see and shit like that. That is a result of this. And I'm not saying that that's a direct result of what Gloria Steinem and them did, but ever since that they invaded, ever since that they came with this motherfucking CIA program, ever since that they got into the minds and the heads of our women, and they separated the family, yeah, it can never stand. Okay, let's be clear. It will never stand. It will never, ever, ever. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go if you don't have your counterparts, if you're not locked in. Because you go on that side, you go over there on that side, or you just say, F the man, I'm going to just rock this one out. It's me and my poodle and whatnot, and the girls. Man, it's a scary world out there. You know? It's a scary world, bro.
I was great, healthy, and they paid for all the expenses.
Are you comfortable saying what the company was?
It's called Ghetto Gaggers.
Okay, I've actually have heard of that before. I've heard.
Yeah,
that
so
before.
I was. It wasn't like I was just caught off guard. Someone warned me about don't do it because it's not a good look, and my big head eventually did anyway.
I've actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because I've heard of that when I was watching a video about like how porn should be basically banned in America, well, around the world, and they mentioned that name. And as you're speaking, when you said degrading black women, I was like, I feel like that's the name.
Yeah, they should with a Caucasian other women too, though, but they do black women.
Okay,
you know.
Okay, and you said you didn't feel like uncomfortable in those scenes. That have you only done it one time or multiple?
I went there. They paid for everything, and I went there by myself. I didn't have nobody with me, and they treated me like it was like professional, like a professional ran business.
Okay,
they are a professional company, but yes, I guess what they portray is not so good. But they didn't treat me. They're not really racist. They may appear like they humiliate girls on camera, but that's the whole point of them, to make their money, I guess. But and I see what it may look like. Oh well, she did that for some money, but that's not really. That's not me. That's just me showing up for a job. But I could understand from another person's perspective of how that may look. So like I said, looking back, I'm not going to say I regret it. However, looking back, if I had to do it all over, I wouldn't shoot with that type of company.
So, you know, there were always the exceptions to the rule and these were the exceptions and not the rule, I'm sure that this type of behavior always existed. You had prostitution and shit like that. However, when it became a thing for all black women to kind of like normalize, when it became normalized, when it became a career occupation, when it became, a Zeus network type of thing, I feel that that's when things get out of hand. You feel me? That's now things are completely out of hand. And how do you fix, how do you fix how do you fix how do you fix a society that is moving in said direction? Like once you're demoralized to a certain degree, it's very hard to dial that back. You feel me? It's sort of like a cancer, the way that they've been able to poison our people and convince us that being shameless and being quote unquote, you know, um, uh, 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 demoralized and whatnot is somewhat of a flex. It's somewhat of liberation. They call it sexual liberation. I don't see liberation. I see trials and tribulations on these women's faces. I don't see them looking liberated. They look tribulated. You feel me? So I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of effects of this attack that took place that was sanctioned by the CIA. And at the same time, while they were doing that, they were putting our people on big heroin. I mean, we talk about crack a lot, but we got to talk about what heroin did. We got to talk about what heroin did. That was the first fracture that completely broke us up as a people. Um, People sitting with them damn tracks in their arm, with them needles hanging out and everything. That's the 60s, the 70s, leading into the 80s, and now it's back with the lean. Now it's back with the pills. Now it's back with the oxy and the opiates and whatnot. What the fuck? It is not a joke. So if you out there and you find yourselves on substances, you feel me, and you find yourselves with a vice and whatnot, I need you to tap in. There you go. Let me put my email up there. We actually have a ceremony coming up that can help you break your addictions. Okay. We have an Iboga ceremony coming up that will help you break your addictions to cocaine, heroin, opiates, and all of that. Hit me on the email. This is some private type of thing. I don't want to put, your business is private, so we ain't gonna do it in the public. But we do have we're gonna have a show where we're gonna bring, see, I can't even have my guest on the show because they out here clipping my episodes whenever we talk about anything health related. So I got to be very careful about that. We might have to do that on Patreon. I have a guest that I'm bringing on, and there's an event coming up where they're helping people with these vices that they have. Pornography is a vice as well. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's dealing with the dopamines, anything that's dealing with the quote unquote addictive nature of dopamine release and whatnot can be considered a vice. There's so much talk on multiple channels and platforms about the quote unquote archons. There's so much talk about these watchful entities. There's so much talk about these attachments. There's so much talk about the parasites. There's so much talk about, entities from the fourth dimension able to descend, you know what I mean, and mount people and walkthroughs and take people over and the zombie shit, all of that. That's all addictions. That's all dealing with vices. That's all because motherfuckers don't have discipline. Because if there was discipline, if there was self-mastery, none of these things would even bother us. None of these things would even be a problem to us. But I'm very mindful that we are all healing. And we are all healing from something. So if you want to deal with your healing and your revealing, and you've gotten past that stage of fear and doubt, tap in. That's all I got to say. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to land this plane. I do have a world premiere. I'm going to play this video and then we finna dip. You know what I'm talking about? And we will link up with the family what is that? Techno Tuesdays tomorrow. Me and Spin City having we have an IRL. We have an IRL event in the city, all right, at Spin City headquarters. If you're in Atlanta, we need you to pull up and come rock with us. You know what I'm talking about? Come tap in with us. 72 Claws, the replay is available. The 72 Claws replay is available. I definitely want y'all to come and take advantage of the 72 Claws. It was monumental, it was epic, and it is available on KTL University.
Back road talk, I learned the codes. Old stone steps in the winter roads. Hands in my coat, eyes on the block. You said be cool, I said I won't. Names get passed, but the facts stay hard. Red and blue flash when the night gets charged. They knew the Moors, I knew the rain. Same old game, different name. Hold that line, don't fold now. Say it once, then say it loud. 72 Claws, peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. They knew the Moors, red and blue the law. Red and blue the law. 72 Claws, peace to you and yours. Peace to you and yours. I keep my word when the cold wind calls. When the cold wind.
All right. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we have Techno Bowl IRL in the ATL. Techno Bowl IRL in the ATL with our special guest, Dr. Vicky Wright Hamilton. Dr. Vicky Wright Hamilton. All right. Make sure that y'all tap in. This is a paid event. We probably will do an early Techno Tuesdays. And then after that, we are going to be broadcasting Techno Bowl. That is Zoom only for my Patreons. Y'all will have full access, but this is definitely a Patreon event. Tap in. The tickets are on sale and they are very affordable. So we'll see you in the building. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, peace to you and yours. Word from our sponsors, and then we are out of here.
VCL in my cup, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by steam moss. Flow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. VCL in my cup, I'm feeling right. Sip to the sunrise, dance to the night. From the ocean's kiss to your city lights. 21 flavors, pure health in every bite. Drip so clean, we're custom made. From reef to street, we elevate. Gold green gel, set the record straight. Nature in a bottle, that's a better way. Charge me up, no caffeine crash. Clean energy, steady splash. From skin to gut, yeah, we live from within. Wellness on 10, let the rhythm begin. Pour it up, pour it up. Feel the wave, body thanking me. Every save, ocean wisdom in this glass. We sell magic, see moss. We sell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by sea moss. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. Island breeze in the city maze. We're mineral rich in 1,000 ways. Immunity high like the summer rays. Hydrate the hustle, fuel your days. Berry, mango, ginger, lime. Pick your flow, your flavor, your time. Beauty and balance we redefine. Every little sip, align your shine. Pour it up, feel the way. Body thanking me for every sip. Ocean wisdom in this glass. We sell magic, sea moss. We sell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by sea moss. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. From the coral choir to the heartbeat drum. Roots run deep where the wild tides hum. Real ones know where the glow comes from. We sell in the mix now, watch us.
Big up. All right. Peace, y'all.
can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bums we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North America, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch storage type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blessed.
Crumb TV.